Hi everyone, I'm Kavita from Storyland SL. What do you see? You see lots of books, and books are something that we love at Storyland SL. We bring stories to life. That's me and Mokshini Jayamana. You can find us on our YouTube channel, Storyland SL, and don't forget to also check out our Facebook page and our Insta handle, Storyland SL. So today, like I said, we've got lots of books, and let's pick one to take a look at, shall we? I'm going to go with this one. Okay, looks super exciting because it's about, that's right, movie magic, and none other than the movie magic of the Wizarding World, the world created by J.K. Rowling. So let's first take a look at the blurb of this book. I'm going to read you a little bit of that. Have you ever wondered how Harry, who's Harry? Yes, you know, that's Harry Potter. Have you ever wondered how Harry is able to run through the wall at platform 9 3/4? Or how a human playing Hagrid can look like a half giant? Just like there are professors at Hogwarts and Aurors at MACUSA, filmmakers have their own special skills and talents. And that's exactly what this amazing book is about. It's all about what goes on behind the scenes at the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. And of course, not just Harry Potter, but if you are someone who's a true Harry Potter fan, you'll know that it's also the world of the Magical Congress of the United States of America, or in other words, MACUSA. Okay, so I'm going to be reading you a little bit of a section of this, but this particular page caught my eye when I was taking a look at the book previously. Just take a look at this still, it's amazing. And they've given you a little bit of a description as to how they brought this particular scene to life. And not just the scene, but the tiny details that we often overlook when we are watching this amazing movie. So let me quickly read to you a quick extract. Phoenixes are a hallmark of J.K. Rowling's world, and in this particular scene you'll also see the 4 phoenixes, and I'm going to read you a little bit of that section. There are 4 golden phoenix statues in the lobby of the MAC USA. There is also a statue of 4 adults and a child that is a memorial to the Salem witch trials. Now, the Salem witch trials actually took place. They are a part of history, and they've incorporated it into the movie. This was a painful turning point between the American wizarding community and the No-Majers. Stuart Craig explains, and I quote, "It's important that the magical world is grounded in the context of the Muggle world, born out of things that are familiar and real." Now, the MAC USA, or the Magical Congress's seal, is also very closely based on the actual seal used by the government of the United States. So it's very cool, the amount of detail and the depth that they've paid attention to these little details as well. Now, for those of you who are true fans and have looked very deep into the movies as well, you would have probably remembered the compass that plays a very vital role in the films. Now, this is the cool part, and this is why I picked this page. Take a look. So I remember the magic of books as a child, especially when things like the online world wasn't as well pertinent as it is or important as it is nowadays. Of course, these were the things that brought magic into our days and our lives, and I'm just going to show you one part of it. Are you ready? Okay, here we go. So these are the different threat levels, and if you spin this all the way around, take a look, take a look, take a look. Isn't that amazing? It just completely transforms. I got goosebumps actually doing that. Okay, so that's just one of the amazing things in this amazing book, because not just of the information, but of the little tools that it uses to bring these aspects to life as well. And then, of course, not just the scenes, but also the characters. So I picked a favorite character, Albus Dumbledore, and this double spread actually takes a look at different aspects of the detail of his costume, the colors that we used, the makeup, the way they thought of putting his beard together, and oddly enough, how between takes really, that they had to put his beard into little bands and ties, throw it over his shoulder so that it wouldn't get into his food when he was eating. So, let me quickly read you a little bit of this. Hogwarts headmaster Albus Dumbledore was played by 2 actors over the course of the Harry Potter films. Richard Harris assumed the role in Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Richard wasn't sure at first if he would take the part of Dumbledore, but he knew he had to do it when his granddaughter told him if he didn't, she wouldn't speak to him ever again. He played Dumbledore once more in Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets before his untimely death. We do miss him very much. And we'll see here how they've got one of the drawings that the designer did for Dumbledore's costume and how that gets transformed into the real life version for the cinematography. And here's a little story about the beard being tied up. And they've also explained how effects are used in the movie, particularly to enhance the character or to bring to life what J.K. Rowling intended for the character. So you can see a little green hand here, but I'm not going to read that to you because I'm going to leave it to you to find out. So if you would like to find out how these worked, as well as many other amazing aspects of the Harry Potter wizarding world, don't forget that you can get this book at the Big Bad Wolf online sale, which takes place from the 1st to the 3rd of October 2020. And you'll see the website that's popping up just here. Don't forget to take a visit. And remember, it's not just these books, you've got so many others that you can take a look at. And looking forward to seeing you when we catch you at our next description of a book. Bye until then.